World as we know it. Wesley Pipes. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Sunday, June 19, 2016. Fingers crossed. Jail. These war criminals finally learn of your true power. Take no shit from mass murderers, yet don't throw it back in their faces. Give them graces. Locked up in dark places where they would see all of us, faceless. They have paid for war on both sides since before the United States. It's finally time to uproot this pyramid scandal and lay these psychopaths to rest. The bloodshed is on their heads. We demand it. New system completely transparent, 100% and equal, giving the best idea the floor, a chance for humanity to survive. Need I say more? We are not overpopulated. Not by a long shot, just mismanagement in a shit show. Lock up all these lunatic criminals and throw away the key. Instigating through the propaganda and media makes me sick. Realize real lies. A reason we not dead yet. Postulations vary upon control group's point of view. Every problem requires a news objective view, multifaceted solutions spanning each and every field of study. No need for compliance, just replace with the stability of free-thinking environments, a space in place creating the new one. OVE everyone make peace with just your neighbors. Imagine this could spread. ID wake up for a once-in-a-lifetime alarm clock raid singing for once as once. I know well all have to agree on the world's first sing a long sunrise. Surprise, let the light shine where there's the most conflict. I don't mind if we share to choose which international lullaby, a new global pastime, as long as we all agree this here tune is my nominee. Dance for lifetime is art. If you can do nothing else, be nice. It's the least one can do to prove this is all it'll take. I've not left the majesty operable cognitive imagination while in Japanese revolution protest method, locked in surrounded by walls, though stillness engulfing hadricks. Satisfaction's grandiosity takes not an external sound to be true to you. Connect the I with the whole universe. A lot can be accomplished through being in one place, cultivating energy. Next up on the human checklist, to your fellow selves, your neighbors. Why? Because mom and dad says so, and so it is. One love. Vertical view or horizontal mover, vice versa. Inverse proportions as per selection method, adaptation of species, invention and phenomena, human or otherwise. Celestial gods equals effects. Like reply 1 minute. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Wow, blew my own mind there. I don't usually in public, so what? 8 LOLOL P. Like reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Each variation or will instigation dimension al step frequency tier M, undefined universal information receptor 9, or physical 6 expression adaptation genetic trait 3 suppression repression over exertion expression the proverbial inverse p linkogenetic coding 64 helix activation outgrown before 146 plus 224//24. Take all our anguishes, leaving them out on the dance floor, lead by example. Inverse of the last age, this new age, the female's quarter sacred ancient secrets. Let her decide, you know it's right. Be the ace of base gentleman, elastically bend light, binding it in a line, circulating the magnetic devotion of said such allurement when within every fragment each force of nature present, and after altering the stance of frequency in such a way that sound could blend these the heavens with dark matters, hell and carbon, earth with the strangely and gross net. The subtly weighted magnetic generator would be kick-started from Tesla coiled activation in kickstart, a stable micro-waving pattern, just as good old faithful waves that would surely cause us to forget our old skills of burning witches. I mean combustible nuclear fusion, I mean rocket surgery, I mean we will keep nuclear thrusters. What am I saying? Getting ahead of myself again. Like reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas. We need to call John Hutchinson for more information. Indoor gardens logically can produce more than naturally allowed. Please think using skull organ knowledge wisdom humility power love. This is a linear concept of intuition, rather a lateral ritualistic remedy. Like reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Even though to me no one seems to make sense to anyone anymore, ever, but hey, to each his or her own. Kudos. I'm a narcoleptic catatonic chronic sunset surprise. There is only one creator consciousness, mind over matter, the venom lines. Fill it with blood of the scribe. Upside down we morph from one idea invention to another, just as the adaptive nature of all life, us and all the animals. Like reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Mind over matter. The need to adapt, brushing us past our enclosures onto new environment. See the personality trait apparent in each and every single one of nature's expressions, evolutionary adaptations evolving until form of the universe embodiment, the entirety of the all, a combination if you will of all animals, all kingdoms, all people and existence. Assistance itself. Emotion is the human condition which drives our evolution. Animalistic adaptations usually occur only to survive rather than to live, aware enough to experience itself, yes, to show a direct predecided emotion. To capture that essence is a big part of holding medium, vital to transitioning darkness into information. Monstrosity of authorities, atrocities moving beyond barriers by the second. You've guessed it, I already drank the liquids, you've set new ones, new brand, break new now, organic and original flavors. Yeah, it's safe. Here is the big truth: the universe naturally is safe. Accept this as a default opinion and you're already almost there. Now find your passion and bam, you're enjoying the ice creamy fashion. Yum. No one will know from what pessimistic faction from which you hail as they scatter across the floors and cupboards to glue you to some unnatural detention, when all you did was accept the small indecent truth that the world is built out of thin air from something good that loves you. No need for security when we can accept the true you rather than some obvious nonsense. You were born bad and stupid, and you have to pay some guy to make it better. Yeah, okay, go fuck yourself. It's in the heart. Yep, don't have to train your heart to pump the blood, you bloke. It's happening on its own from birth. There's your proof, wonkers. I will find the time, I promise you, my dear friend. Endless travels. I've cut my unnecessary fat once again. Like reply just now, you know you deserve this. Ask to be shown excessively mind blown. The truth is stranger than fiction, and to me, okay, it's always an ever driven more acute rendition by questioning the all. Novice voice says part of the wall, yet in fact it's just this. Typing on screen, it's a hobby by now, and I always desire a good conundrum with luncheon, we the universe. Not just people. Thanks y'all for letting me share one OVE. Gotta run, it'll be around periodically like an element. Stay true to you, I suppose the all is the whole, forever, constantly, even AS1. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Monday, June 20th, 20161. Read. Gotta run, I'll be around periodically like an element. Stay true to you, I suppose. To each their own meaning. Existentialism. If you regard and hold some religious jargon as supreme law, you are no better than Babylon, worshipping idols and dead people. That's the definition of prophet, a dead person. So please do not communicate with the dead. That's a dangerous game without a guide. Namesakes, these are radical changes, and it's not you or I that we need to facilitate the reconstruction of. No doubt the earth herself is raising in alignment secret societies. Yeah, that's a step forward. Come on, think, bro. An enlightened person doesn't need to say the other is doing the wrong thing. Yeah, no. That's fundamental. The only one doing the wrong thing is going around telling others that they are somehow walking up the mountain the wrong way. www.youtube.com/watch V equals NPCVKCWD4LU. We are all descendants from alien stardust. The alien are God, not Geode. And last, the real alien are animals. Protect your popularity, I'll go save the wolves. Thanks, good talk. There is no God but Geode. Call it a particle. Sorry, I am against religious crap, but if you need a word to have it make sense, go for IDs. Quantum is threefold in nature. Andrew Alexander Douglas. As same with Andrew Alexander Douglas, as well as just like an atomthe, the realm of potentialities, nothing to do with gods, whatever the fuck that is. Sorry, hee. Are you talking about parallel universes? I am interested for sure. Eyes, bro, you are a prophet as I am shaman. It's the same thing. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Let's not get caught up in terminology. It's called seer, visionary, storytellers, songwriters and singers. 1T conform, not for profit. I don't have a contract, never a snitch or sellout. I know that you want what I got, but guess what? I say nothing to criminals against nature, not a signers. Andrew Alexander Douglas. You're wrong about that. It's sacred marriages, but in a CIRC Lethe 2 quantum they have matches in a blank background. Yes. Bingo. Laughing face, 0. As I have said, I know the past. I am not a prophet. Like reply 8 mints. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas. I am shaman. Fortune tellers tell the future. Like reply 8 mints. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas. I am the clouds that became stone. Anishinaabe original people. Like reply 4 mints. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Impossible. Maybe source creator has sent this in different ways. Or are alien bosses gods with a lowercase letter G equals ET like reply 3 Mints Andrew Alexander Douglas the ET might have perversed such occurrences in such a way as they have developed highly potent mentalism being sentient for so many million years they do kinda already have mastered the material world and are working on the etheric one no way are using a great amount of brain maybe 97%. We on the other hand cap out at about 49% my opinion a rendition's another man's perspective nothing more I know I am nothing words may change bro but the story stays the same sorry again I don't like to fight about terminology of words you are on the right track Shannon I salute you and embrace you as my human family namesakes bro good keen eye and the fortitude of heart of which rivals the entire Milky Way and universe itself remember man-made language what it is today, we were given songs. Not everyone had emerald tablets of Thoth Cymatic Spagiric and astrology Sumerians still have many secret lay dormant, but to gather the dragon balls that takes compassion. The art of Buddhism emerald tablets of Thoth is the father of religion we allow them to enslave us through our consent to ignorance and our need to have the toilet safety administration wipe our assisty South Park LOL like reply just now in quantum mechanics the observed changes the experiment into particle form, which collapses the wave function you don't need a spaceship to go there that's the propaganda you can go there in meditation but there aren't any words, only listening. Because creator guess what doesn't speak English, imagine that you my mythologies are free, I don't touch you or hypnotize we work on participation or not at all. I only govern through consent I am a healer and a guide at best knowing I cannot go through the doors for you only you can do that. I can provide the evidence and let you choose the sides. Facets rather I don't play with the dead ever period, I want you to exercise your own ghosts. And am non-profit meaning it's free unless you feel the need to donate to my compensation Som gets the Christos king and queen of the plant kingdom. Yes the whole thing. Fighting over weed is like eating a stethoscope then a stereo, what's the point? Google something or call your mom don't just go off what the major said or that dress wearing hammer thrower too. Those guys work for Bowser, dude duh. Be right but polite thanks pro style masterful G Jam 24/7 4321. Once you talk with GS, well can't untalk love ya dad, like a stone isle it's matter vs antimatter I suppose for a two-dimensional information client. Specifically the unseen in the scene. However touchy the subject, the topic itself is known by even myself to give both anxiety and depression simultaneously, to speak of a truth of some underlying unseen force which connects us to each other and the all, is the concept of antimatter, particle B as I call it, particle of the matter or quantum get along here in the three-dimension in order to for particle C or matter, A is to B as B is to C in that manner, we can equate some sort of logic or philosophy as to the functional communication of quantum relationships. For it is that fear of the unknown which separates us the most it's the truth that fundamentally the seen although unseen to us at some point created the unseen in some fashion albeit invisibly bias impossible to prove, the idea that this cycle is ever repeating to higher and more complex means is really all a matter of perception alluding to the acceptance as a defining role as a CO creator knowing full well there is see and unseen forces using any type of matter to relate unseen. Information in itself could be a viable conundrum and hilariously oxymoronic at best the sum is equal to the whole completely as such that's what makes us created as equals. The all is the whole forever constantly even as one ever behold the promise of the rainbow we fly infinitely, 3x 3x, 3x 1y equals 2 I have no idea what I'm doing. Andrew Alexander Douglas Sunday, June 26, 2016. Attributes the will spends lifetime spreads realizations. Elusive illusions demonstrate our collective unreasoning. Pictures scattered about new frames found without the luggage. From the depths downwardly bellows the same peace and freedom alone but alive, no avail our internal polarity. Fastening breath to the condemned, lost, and weak of willed. The world spilled reports of oceanic trends the density of an old breath a memory here below the CLNE horizons interact with the entirety of all planets, suns, and galaxy here a rewiring takes place for his were hers and his were hers upleft flat across divided practicality shadows our shallow breath finding the pieces of our pieces this lifing sense shatters controversy to no end. Painting images swept under the bed headboard and sheets. Illuminations shed against a dark background. Mirrored images lead to situations discussed. When his was hers and hers was his. Light and darkness split trajectories commit. Spend the delusions already, I'm out of change now, only left with shaded remembrances of eternal blackness. Light shared the ceiling and glob apart, left with standing in between universal cracks and shadows. Lining / golden fades to gray. The simple's flame glows within us all. Within our hearts and minds alone. Draining sideways causes binary options asymptote. Blinking in and out of our apparent discordances. Two-dimensional fabrics intermittence transposition. Courses challenges correlate this sacred dance between the sacred masculine and feminine as one party of love. Held hands, no speech. Forever and eternally keeping our promises. Of which is pre-present in all unconditional atoms, not matter the percent 66 or 33. Interrelationally established as within so without qualitative quantum adaptations. The future proclaims this a place for us all. Spoken to walls provided to us all a transmitting wavelength, forming all realm of possibility. One acquired by duty lies barren. Situation calls for remembering our vows, oath and slogan. All our greatest teachers of the ages, leaving trails for our subjective realizations to objectively accept this responsibility renewed. We are 100% congruent, consistent and even at all times. Holding hands forever, peering into each other's grin, smiling. Tell me once again the story of how the moon loved the world so much he would never take his eyes off her. As below up and back down as above. Wondrous. What a wonderful world. How popular is this punctuation that you speak of, and what is their mystery therein? Feminism is great, but please have a seat and define this word. Constructively first, please. Agree on a definition or agree to disagree about separation of men and women by participation in gender-specific narcissism, culturally mass confusion, irrational, irrelevant. Love you women and I'll protect you with my life. It's what I was born to do and I'll never stray from, strive, falter or fathom a world without each other. Time you are my whole universe and family at once, every life and every soul. You see we combined, hold hands keeping in place our universal splendor. To me myself I am not a good man unless my life is taken first, till death never surrender, and may it be known that with my last whisper and shrieking halting stoned breath again I'll roam to another life in another time, to the surrender of one love. Please celebrate you in all that you do and feel free to express that unique essence, your best of that which makes you us, we and them. C. Celebrate women. BC. I love you eternally. Andrew Alexander Douglas reacted to his own post. Pride is about peace. There are laws concerning indecent proposals of exposure, rape, and illicit misconduct of all types. I agree we need some old laws to change and offer the same tax breaks to couples of all relationships. I think the issues are asking for equality and expecting a double standard as usual. The proverbial give an inch and take a mile. Need apply here, but I do agree the stigma is a moot point in reference to lewd and uncensored conduct. Are these the values by which a same-sex transgender or misogamist polygamist would accomplish? What is the intended role in society, and by what means does the relationship serve humanity as a whole? Equality in my book always means one bathroom. But then we might have to outlaw certain vendor machines while we are trying to defecate, expel bodily waste, in peace and without harm. Don't make Eric Cartman right on this. The bathroom is America's last bastion of freedom. Good post. As usual. I have no idea what I'm doing. Peace, love and freedom for all. Even the 3% unlike reply to 19 mints. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Everyone love everyone, just make sure actions express true feelings and such. Be your own boss. Conduct your own discipline. Have a great day. Native pride on the red road. Protect and serve your fellow planet. Peace, oh peace, a ho. Have a great day. We are a community unlike reply 112 mints. Skrillex, Roughneck, Full Flex Music Video. YouTube.com. If ignorance is bliss equates toward the functioning of knowledge into power. That which you do not know becomes a joy in understanding. While learning, cavitation occurs, situating one's own I am presence into alignment, earth heart vortex rhythm. In Forte edition, in all you do tell the truth and make learning fun. The comedian's job is to find the line and cross it. Grossing validation, a way to play Morpheus from the Matrix. Make peace learning fun. A difficult truth is best told in a joke. Ho 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 merry everyday, combining new subjects irrespective of the pertaining ascertained objectivity. Mirrored quantum relationship like in your imagination. I say we make a holiday where we plant trees instead of cut them down. That makes sense, right? Death clock, go forth and die. Official music video youtube.com. But capital giants prescribe the proper medicine for your safety and health. You're right, wrong. Think again. Following intent. Andrew Alexander Douglas shared a link. Lamb of God, Omerta, lyrics, HQ youtube.com/www.youtube.com/watch, V equals Q1JRO5PBXVS. Andrew Alexander Douglas updated his status. June 26, 2016 6:37 Will neither nor either or allow as such my mind enslaved through captivation of nonsense, especially of another's will, unless of course sent not a thing or even nothing at all. Only then through peacefully understanding our wherewithal can we encounter the means to endure our own progress. Socially bent universally circumstances are manifest in doing, conditioning positive mindset through habitual consent of higher mind over self, of the ego self. Quitting necessity, rivalry for suspenseful technological envelopment, global perpetual society perpetuating divine inspiration and especially increasing anachronistic synchronism, miracles. In an expanding universe, non-intervention of free will and exploration of the cosmos, real magic stuff. Assisting each other together as one, against an unusual force known as environments. Andrew Alexander Douglas shared a link. Lamb of God, The Faded Line, lyrics, hqyoutube.com/m/. Andrew Alexander Douglas shared a link. Nofs, Fuck the Kids and Linoleum Live, Padova 2013youtube.com. Andrew Alexander Douglas shared a link. Loki, Foot. Immortal Technique, Voices of the Voiceless, official version, youtube.com/www.youtube.com/watch, V equals XI5ZUVP62IW. Andrew Alexander Douglas updated his status. Think again. Following intent like reply just now. Be emoticon have a heart 3 image of the invisible voice of the voiceless and kids who don't stand a chance. Unite one love. The moment is precious as are everyone, each as Pisces spices the same one to the power of oneself, as unique and whole as the one, now. Andrew Alexander Douglas shared a link. Thrice, image of the invisible youtube.com/www.youtube.com/watch, V equals Ubahslot P Mui. Andrew Alexander Douglas updated his status. Think of your health and that of the safety of your family's war budget is our hands. We spend trillions on death and expect prosperity. From where? Sad like love, haha wow. Sad angry comment. Share 1. Andrew Alexander Douglas comments. Andrew Alexander Douglas GMO fluorinated vaccine, mercury, radioactive, diminishing scumin, resonance, drought, war and upheaval, not to mention serpent seal. Now go buy a car and burn the earth like reply 2 minutes. Andrew Alexander Douglas I like estrogen with my lead like reply 1 min. Andrew Alexander Douglas 2016. Ego Death's merchant selling hours for $100/HR, offering guaranteed peace of mind to take place here in the third dimension. It takes an elapsed transitioning period to connect to the source. Results may vary, no refund can be given, and in a healthy way there is no turning back. If you're not ready to investigate and combine with your shadow side, then please unfriend. Don't live in regret. There is no life worse if you're not ready to connect to the source than in compliance with peace, coming to terms with the void and voice. That of a shining voiceless repeater. If you're satisfied, then I cannot assist or aid. There is no saving those who do not take response for at least self-permission. It's about time we establish that thoughts creates reality. Remembering ultimately I cannot heal you, although offering training, charging compensation for time spent. These hurricane of life, a listen could take just them whole lives. A life coach's time is valuable, and no, I would never require the protection of another soul. I'll face my own sins every time, being proud, facing the sun no matter which direction her shadow caresses your face, felt the rain and engulfed in fire, suffering no damage, in fact becoming more of what I am and quite a lot less of what I am not. Berated discoveries, altruistic understanding, passive concepts, intuited toward community service. There is nothing we cannot perform in our expanding universe. We are only alienated by the sum of our principles. For any help in ascension to fifth dimensional reality, making mention, adapting evolutionary principles, increasing manifestation techniques, creating prosperity through the brilliance and forgiveness source of the universe. One love. 3 now available. No return policy, no promise. My first declaration: I cannot heal anyone but myself. As my own enemy, only you can do that, silly. Understanding relativity, spirit world. You discover the speed limit is infine, not approaching insanity, but a new understanding of time, becomes art, music, sports, games, tech, or fashion. Biometric understandings, our own guardianships, better yet protection of our planet and life. I've created the sound of madness, though punctually attuned to all creation, realizing there really is punctuation, in thought, form, vibration, lending universal arrangement. Sometimes is better to do nothing, or not a thing, so to speak. If ever confused, be still. The answers you seek are found in the wind, as with all truther and understander, expander of conscious awareness. The first song ever written required no acquired word, because there weren't any to tell of at first. Renditions of predicated spark, qualitatively updating DNA double helix into one, extra materialist into geoengineering planets, physical or standing in place to become more than our home planets, or fast slay, waste, and vision environments. And so it is. Pushing our boundaries toward no limit, no barriers, expanding potentialities of peace, post-haste, universal manifestation, speeding abundance. Ichronicities, atrocity, and falsehoods are the only bumps along our ascended trail of tears, aiding and assisting one another's imagery, rich or poor, of metaphysical, irrelevant to how snobby or down to earth one may appear. Slight as we understand each other's triangulation, post-haste, fully hysterical, find relief in understanding of the self. Apologies for entertaining a single breath, for I am long-winded and don't believe it's a sin to be attested to the moment you see I am you, friend, through and through, until the bitter end, accepting self as true. You another me, I another you. Keeping things simple, you see, periods are congruent. Both only while focused, because live never stops one effect of another, it our will s of which process circumstance odo higher ground. The answers always surround there, at last a final beckon will shelters feelings and secrets of our past lives. To Jeter, as we embellish historical viewpoint as one interrogative suggestion of sorts, there is no difference between the use of my words or yours. It's the same to me, being nothing by suggestion. To entertain ideal is just a relative perspective on a polarized embrace, centralizing location not on extremes but on measure and mean, by slope, rate and rise, by creating win-win in all you do, marching forth all for one and one for all. Stand tall and proud, you are the result of the love of 1,000 past selves, embracing the spectrum of true heath, becoming the belief that yet we are individuals. We have been reincarnate by a transition of at least 50 years to 8 generations. The answer to George Orwell lay dormant in our future past selves. We at once were connected through relations. Going back, our DNA genetic agendas, our global goal for all to achieve and access a memory. Here on Earth we Homo sapien are becoming more brain by way of non-intervention and peacefully inhabiting our home Earth planet Gaia. We are traumatized, repeatedly establishing ports of nostalgic memory, just as you were as a child, renewed, drawn towards certain illustrations of eternal youth, existential memory. IES, can you smell the cinnamon or sulfur? Remembrances take forwards in nostalgic pop rock trances. This is time travel, as we are falling backwards in life/time density towards the creator. Our planet has no choice, one day will fade, as do we all along the course. The last lesson, impart memory of the salmon and trout can find their birthplace no matter how far away. You see, fish can't remember but fight upstream. All their life going was just to get back into the moment of now. Time travel is as you make it. Are we swimming up current or bathing in the waterfall? It's your decision and our choice. Please choose wisely and make good decisions. Transitioning slogan and oath, peacekeeping and music, sports and fair games of all types. Abundance is found both ways, equal in the many vortici traveled of unconditional love and appreciation. F1M0 Aho Rainbow Warrior Unite. 8 and assist new dimensional understandings peace light love and understanding 4 pole magnet however you say it 1 loved / www.youtube.com/watch v equals obist 0 qoum we are just getting started this is only the beginning insanity that's the world on repeat redundancy check old baggage and leave it. If you've ever worried about repetition don't matter don't the universe loves to repeat itself and for that matter more question lead to more answers infallibly ineffably so. Do. Only squeaky wheels get the oil. All we have are words that push our world. Ask ye shall receive, without consent how much can we expect? I can't read mind nor do I seek to prove innocence to thee. If you can't tell me 10 don't try it infidel to compliance. Let her go instead of defiance dementia driven the ring of power into the mind of men madness ensued issuing challenger and a chance to maintain tempo ring universal brilliance with our own 2 hands. First time ever in real life now I play by my own rules or shut the door. If only he knew this fundamental trial is not temporary no matter what microorganism age organic planet provides us the planet not somatic creation synthetic means. All these things are more or less the art of being becoming without stress first test is to dance with all life letting happy feet flow like arrows shot across equilibrium like comets glide alone with the flow perspective is only subjective of our objective universal understanding. Renewing perspective with each and every starlight shop shooting disarray coagulating metaphysical mental tags perspective always change no matter asteroid or photon antimatter materializing floweral arrangements. He what's that say lol. I have no idea ability power over 900 APOP. What does the scouter say about his power level I am just a childlike mind like Goku and Doras. LOL. Chat conversation end. Type a message. Over 9000. Overpowered ability power like when Goku first went Koken X2. Over 9000. Free thought radicals are quantum concept. You see I not only teach apocalypse. I am a master of apocalypse. And New Age thinking. My title is Master Assassin Bard Officer and Assistant GM Harm many kills known let's use this measurement scale from DBZ to measure power levels. Just makes sense already creatively established for the youth as well swell tie. OPAP animations punctual grandsons. 1. True power comes in response to a need not a desire. Nothing is as strong as gentleness nothing as gentle as true strength. It's okay palm forward slow down. NP. Okay. Just watch them pass there's always more get to the spot where you can access all doors been there done that, it was fun, got a free t-shirt. Only squeaky wheels get the oil. All we have are words that push our world. Ask ye shall receive, without consent how much can we expect? I can't read mind nor do I seek to prove innocence to thee. If you can't tell me 10 don't try it infidel to compliance. Let her go instead of defiance. All wars are civil because all life is family. It's not safe out there of this world has forgotten one rise against 0. Chimp's mind expansion frees our lives. Slippery slope of cataclysm and guilt. Give yourself medal of valor / bow / blessing ahoy. Rise against, Savior with lyrics. I proudly present a masterpiece. Not only RA or mine, but both. A great song demands a great vid, and there you go. Dash, give it all, let the bodies hit the floor. I'm allergic to face paint, what can I do? Makeup breaks me up in hives / www.youtube.com/watch. V equals txxjinlu rather just be myself as human admin ajaniki peri nagana work here enim. Andrew Alexander Douglas Thursday, June 30th, 20162 reads. https://www.youtube.com/watch, v equals Q6, the Grand Canyon mother oh all fuckers lol when it's in your system. TV quotes not satellite nagana lease here. Anymore take care of your health be late at work every day to be successful like me and miss all your flu shot I feel great out of shape but great that's one don't leave any stone unturned this is your life we're talking about a team wake up be realistic holistic health it's a well-rounded grow up desk ison not to go into work day lol for life. Mind blown, this information gives me nightmares. I'm nervous to press on with guidance, although truths do tell. Health is a full-time job in this nerve-wracking age. We live in a real important static age, no room for mistakes. Good teams, stay on your toes. Alright guys, good job, take it on from here. Hope to see you at the astronomical racetracks. And Bloody Baker Party. Nice girl. Rebecca Black is girl. Nice kitty cat. We invented Fridays. Kenny G did. Thanks uncle from another brother. What's on your mind? Notes and choices. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Saturday, July 2, 20161. Read. Andrew Alexander Douglas. I get it now. I'm sure God double-checked the market, forget the Big Bang, he made the companies to spark it, all of life designed by a CEO. The real God you serve, it's all in the dough. Investments raise in profit margins, keep the government bank account below zero. Like your dead heartbeat and so slow, barely alive with all the pollution from oil, here take this pill and forget about dollars. Take the blue pills, it's ours. You can trust us with your future. Student loans now exceed credit cards. We can burn holes in the earth like Swiss cheese. Better we get that cheddar than to lose the ability ship our bank asset across seas. All it takes is an ally. OOP the rope, D-rope 1-2 punch, fake left go right. The army will see you pay like it or not. We got jails all day. We can track you anytime with my supercomputer. We'll make sure your debt's divine. 4 mince ironwood. I can't stand by, I won't. How can we stand back and watch all your friends and family bow to the medical industry, dropping like flies? I can't watch, it's atrocious. Enough to revolt, how about it? Have the energy to protest peacefully. I can and will till my last breath. Why not? What's the alternative? Healthcare. Drugs. Holistic healing is natural by definition. Trust only last until warranty. Or it'll come back stronger. Find a way out of this mess. Insurances reminding us how much past due. We can't help, only give you enough rope for mass confusion. Reason being representation. No taxation. How about trying the truth? Could be the reason. Not a spoof. Real advice. Either you have an opinion and fight with your life, or take risky chances. Going blind into the night. Just enough to hang yourself first. In other words, go nature first. Respect an Hippocratic oath. Love thy neighbor as thyself. It's your choice. Be full, overflowing, rather devoid of compassion and reason. One Love. Steve Grant, Dr. Death. Song written and performed by Steve Grant, recorded at Diddy Mix Studio, mixed and mastered by Steven Caputo. Steve Grant on Facebook, https://www.facebook, youtube.com. Like a love, haha, wo say dang, comment, share. Comments. Write a comment. Andrew Alexander Douglas. 12 mince. YouTube perversion is not persuasion. Punctuation means nothing when words go unheard. Revolutionary maneuvers. Death comes silent. This isn't what's mean. By going in your sleep, we forgot. Artificial artifacts. Tethers are extraterrestrial presciences. Adapting a culture, shattering indentured bonds. Chains invisibly worn. Only through consent. Breaking self-reliances. Make necessity a scarcity. Transcend them and the intent. Building rigs wide open, take out the sling from under wounded knee. Grounded at the last rung, I'll be attached here below, the voice of the voiceless by choices. I am nothing. One black heart. It's kindergarten. Doest matter how close to the equator you hail from? The teachings are irrespective of vast frequencies and dimension, closer to the arrangement of the element in reference to the sacred four of winds directions, electrons distinct, a combination of all things, as with a compass we considered similar if not equal to galactic realms. Like reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas and Eternal Dragon Road is OP wo. Just sayin'. Like reply just now. Write a reply. Domo arigato. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Saturday, July 2, 2016. 0 to 4 FAIRY 4 good for women. 1 to 3 FAIRY 3 bad for men. 2 to 2 FAIRY 2 good for men. 3 to 1 FAIRY 1 bad for women. Relates to horse metaphysical connection vice duality aspect ratio polarity forces 4 pole magnet virtue aspect seen in the unseen unseen in the seen mutable. 40 Sun. 51 Mercury. 62 Venus. 73 Earth. 84 Moon. 95 million Argentine pesos. 106 Asteroid. 117 Jupiter. 128 Saturn. 139 Uranus. 1410 Neptune. 1511 Pluto. 1612 Nibiru. 1713 BROW and Dwarf, binary sun. Relates to fame metaphysical connection vice duality aspect ratio polarity forces 4 pole magnet virtue aspect seen in the unseen unseen in the seen fixed. 1814 to 1 HORSE 1 good for men. 1915 to 2 HORSE 2 bad for women. 2016 to 3 HORSE 3 good for women. 2188 to 4 HORSE 4 bad for men. The veils are lifting, environments changing, cities in transition, weather recovers, cataclysm averted through apocalypse, many collapse, but what remains inevitably adapts, changes all we've know only what has. I fear the city's madness riot, this isn't madness, this is Ironwood. Like reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas catchy. Like reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas, we have survived, must be alive moving forward. Like reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas, thoughts permit and guide the winds, we are the earth stewards and guardians. Like reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas, nice OPAP over 900. Like reply just now. I have no idea what will happen, heavy energy information only time will tell, if art or money wins, targets drawn, bullseye long gone, the time is now, we hold the potential possible outcomes in our heads, ball it up, go bonkers, empty-handed, folding fields of science, multifaceted juxtaposition, world hunger cure is free if we work as a team, things they don't want you to know, RFID so they can keep tabs on our children, 70K at birth, it's not getting better, fight for your heart, for your earth, for you, leaf horse and hearths, but most of all stand tall and proud, be there for the children. P.S. The earth is round, https://www.youtube.com/watch, v equals mn7. Pair like almost. MBD coming home, MDK obsolete and quiet, honestly laughable hysteria that ensues could too be considered divine judgment, Ijano you be the J for you and stuff, call all right to infinity and beyond, all that goodness, have no idea what will happen, heavy energy information only time will tell, if art or money wins, targets drawn, bullseye long gone, the time is now, we hold the potential possible outcomes in our heads, ball it up, go bonkers, empty-handed, folding fields of science, multifaceted juxtaposition. World hunger cure is free if we work as a team, things they don't want you to know, RFID so they can keep tabs on our children, 70K at birth, it's not getting better, fight for your heart, for your earth, for you, leaf horse and hearths, but most of all stand tall and proud, be there for the children. P.S. The earth is round, https://www.youtube.com/watch, v equals mn7. Pair like almost awesome, she is so hot, I believe evolution happened somewhere. Andrew Alexander Douglas, Sunday, July 3, 2016. I believe evolution happened somewhere. Like love, haha, wow, sad, angry, comment, share. Comments. Write a comment. Andrew Alexander Douglas. 6 Mints Ironwood, MI did you evolutionary biomechanics under countless new planets, or the trillions of years toward evolution seemingly on a galactic scale happen overnight? We are separated from the universe by our feet. In order for this to occur, that means there have been sufficient places to walk. We have this fundamental idea that the Creator is somehow inherently evil, as is the field of science is to splitting atoms, which tome is quite radical. The universe is fundamentally odd, but that first intent was to expand good, not split elements, evils, instead of equal. Great observation, Ty. All is relative, even the earth and sun, 1 + 1 = 1. Andrew Alexander Douglas, Monday, July 4, 2016. Ought to separate the yolk from the white. An honorable work indeed. Bow sir, salute. That's about the easiest concept. The lasers is the lasting edition though. That's fantastic. I can picture this too, only to get the kick from resonance understandings, varying over complexity in differential separate quantum fields. Establishing overunity naturally by going throughout the octaves involved in creating atoms or electrons. At least this is probably a lot easier than creating life essential. It's the same topic. Like reply 3 mints. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Yes, this is my thinking. We need to break the suppression of thought through education and health. Only then can we actually having a shot at making an informative decision to our valuable resources and basic necessities. Taking into account all of Earth population, this is the only parameter that need be assessed, is global population in ecosystem, which will naturally balance when we embrace the quantum clauses that we are universally connected, not just Gala or Gaia or Kepler's system even. Yes, it's a big topic, too big for most to be able to have the time to consider. But I mean really, without the conveniences this would be much easier. We could go back to organic farming and such, live off the land. I guess that's it, too caught up in day-to-day life to realize the propensity of the all established via virtue of world citizenry. No amount of rational will save us from our energy crisis. In order to sustain our necessity along with our conveniences, we must draw back drastically to the inevitable second coming of Stone Age or create some kind of solution. How would we innovate such a thing? I mean, no one's heard of it. Who could we ask? No one knows. I haven't the means for a laboratory. I guess we are at a loss. Batten the hatches. Or produce invention, free thinking, imagination, plausible. There is a shot, I suppose. How ____, not our question, or is it now? HRMM, who, what, when, where, why and how. I guess so. Full circle. Oh, happy 4th. All is good, evil is the misinterpretation of that good, of those atrocities. Once we build all the houses, what then? For the hammer gets put underground rather than recycled. Like reply 1 just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas. That's the only difference, that two can see a confederation of responsible hammering? I doubt that too. Before a revolution/evolution can occur/take place on the street, it must first take place in the heart/mind. Propaganda makes me cringe at the sheer onside extreme sensitivity towards having the empathic ability to sense outcome. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Physically, the TV makes me vomit. Like reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Literally writhing in sin. That indeed is Orwellian, sure is. Happening now. Pressure cooking though, blossoming fourth dimensional understanding, enlightenment, Christ conscious beings. 1000 lotus petal blossoms all over. Legion the Kochina, all waken gets all relative. We are similar in our differences. Looking into the validity of the expression now, there is such a thing as emotional intelligence. Obviously nukes and nuclear energy is a gross misconception, racist towards subatomic particles, and a sheer misnomer to credible though procedures, requiring us to reassert our values through proper refinement of terminology. Requiring us to start from blank scratch. Splitting anything is a crime against nature, especially in such dangerous ways. Instead of dancing with the flow, I didn't/don't care/mind show words you use, but the dance is your own. No compromise, win-win in all you do. Becoming congruent with nurture, ultimately yes, combining forces of nature, coming to terms with your own fundamental understanding of how to ultimately nurture nature instead of nature nurtures. 1 + 1 = 1. I believe the meme refers to the imagination. Nice. I love this topic of perspective as a meditative initiative's oath/slogan form/medium. Actually accepting the observer identity as an observation. Would this be in line with personal growth? It's the idea of split quantum experience, alters wave-form function. By just the act of observing, I think perception, perspectives, abstract incomplete ideas eventually combine into this meditative understanding of the observer, ultimately a tangible truth that one can hold. I suppose from the invention of fire to the completion wholeness of emotional body training, we have come a long way in identifying objects and feelings to the point where they can work against each other. 5 to 7. The reason we would downgrade a potential idea to a thought is to maintain focusing more complex ideas, combining things rationally through interrelated means or perspectives. Requires an output of sensory perception combining with a memory, good, bad, or trauma, could be an act, emotion, but still a combination of two thinks or even thoughts. Input-output binary logic. Seen in the unseen, unseen in the seen. Heart speak much wiser than brains. The heart is much older than the brain, biologically driven through evolution, and therefore much wiser information processor. Are there any arguments for or against the posted idea, or maybe it's words with a picture of a person? What's stopping you from making discoveries that don't necessarily add up qualitatively yet? Not so much. Nor at all. There is nothing stopping you from saying my discoveries were made from a source other than rational thought. That's all. Not even the earth and sun? Let's take all the money spent on blowing shit up and make a free energy machine/device. Or cure hunger. Or start organic healthy foods. Cure cancer. Release our dependence on hospitals and utilities. Fossil fuels. Now we are talking happy and safe forth. It would only take a few holidays off. But we all have to do it same time. I don't know you. Same time. Not good ones, I've met a lot actually. Never heard of the Hippocratic Oath. I will do no harm to myself or others. Like reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas thought crime just because a badge says doesn't make it right to myself of others do no harm. Treat your neighbor as thyself. Yeah, it's the past, no doubt, I'm not so concerned. Like reply 7 mints. Andrew Alexander Douglas found some levitation making cannonballs lift using Tesla coils. Like reply 6 mints. Andrew Alexander Douglas similar to the Philadelphia experiment. Like reply 6 mints. Andrew Alexander Douglas, but yeah, we can't go there either. I mean, the government really puts a damper on this whole project when they are 250 years in advance to the general public. We basically just sit back while they hoard all the good technology. I'm sure they can prove if Einstein really believed these words, or if Einstein, Elvis, Tupac and Eminem are all holographs, who knows. Like reply 5 mints. Andrew Alexander Douglas assuming they already know. Then people kinda just wait for them to release stuff. I'm just appalled at how many suffer. Then if we can do no better with our current financial system than throw rocks at the walls. I mean, wasn't there ever a time where people were worried for innovation? If you solved the energy crisis, then shouldn't you get like a plaque or a Little Debbie's or something? You know. Like reply 3 mints. Andrew Alexander Douglas, it's because of aliens they lie to us. It's by law treason to go against NASA's statements. They are the branch endowed to cover up all extraterrestrial presence, and without that foreknowledge, coming up with these concepts is rather difficult. Considered expenditures and controlled by all means. We are intelligent beyond belief. We just have to use that thought instead of it being wasted, rated and forgotten. How can we celebrate the human spirit when we stand by while solutions are sitting in place according to GDP? It's not in our control, so we stick out. You can tell there is underhandedness going on when they don't omit to crimes about free speech. They say bring it up and it's treason. This is against our constitutional rights specifically. Rather frustrating. The way legislation words for Richie Rich who only want to make more. See maritime commerce. Quotations or it didn't happen, famous final last words. In other words, there is an element of security with incidental collateral damage. Can remove the life, must change causation or intent. The need to secure create food machines to feed all the humans, thereby replacing the intent uali need for security, bypassing the option for killing each other if basic needs were made free, and retirement is graduation to some designated heaven on earth. That which even tally expands circumnavigating the planet. Just a thought. When is the time spirit enters soul? 6 months 33 days? At conception. The ovule, egg, chooses the seed among all them smaller ovule, sperm, all. Hard to tell. But I would say no matter the choice of chromosome sets M or F, the combination is the start. The soul stitching has begun and therefore has spirit, even if the spirit was not your first breath of a self reincarnated into vessel. If you believe, we choose our parents and life, even though there are only so many branches on a tree, this tree travels the universe, circumventing a family branch outside of that galactic family bond. That sounds evil to me. Doctors perform miracles of nature, not miracles of imagination. I agree fully 100% against abortions. I am one with the VU. Absolutely, rather you gain control of your dreams, and this functioning you can maintain attributing towards reality. Quantum entanglement sadly is a psychological than physiological mechanism. There are anomali but more focused on the tangible truths found instead of the creative ones. Solid object transference. Entangled particles. Or the slit experiment. Internal vs external realms. Each dimension being oblivious to the higher while simultaneously but consciously of the lower at the same time. I am the equation of the alchemist/medicine man, not the perimeter. I work very hard establishing communication venues. And avenues to yes. You see, that's how I avoid persecution. I keep it suggestive. I just have to know where you're coming from and we can find the solution. This is the realm of probability. We must be masters of probability/ratios. Get to the point, variables instead of half-truisms. Yes. Very good. Multifaceted means you pass duality. These are my brain notes. You see, I don't use paper. My brain is the file cabinet. This is also protecting me, self and others. Same as do no harm but in reverse. Compounding health. Good health. I take the meticial approach first, then free energy. Then space. Or as thoth. Physical. Mental. Astral. One self. One universe. And bingo was his or her name-o. Soprano. Alto. Tenor. Baritone. Bass. LOL. Dog whisperer LOL. Cat purr curator. LOLOL. Sexist OMG. But for wisdom, it's like the air, constantly in transitions based on prior knowledge, observations rendered safe to the survival of a species or organism. Water to a fish is great for imagination. To human, you only get so much time underwater to imagine. Heavily based on environmental selection methods. One feels hungry, knows the cure is food, imagines a way to get that food, then does it. Acting on instinct alone might get you there in better ways. I am a big fan of the don't think just do approach. LOL. Like reply to mince. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas. When all these things happen naturally, it doesn't mean we didn't at one point imagine it, the action just became muscle memory. Wow, this is a deep topic for sure. Kudos. Like reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Rationally, we should have food in the fridge, but that doesn't mean we can't really produce shredded cheddar cheese on the moon. I mean, you never know. Like reply just now. Innovation suggests multiple harvests each year instead of yearly. Transcending the necessity is calibrating your causes via conditioning of the will, ultimately leading towards alternate effects. Considering being aware, shouldn't we adapt this towards our neighbors? As another self and a reflection of the environment. The faculty to progress past nature's intended harvest with the use of technology is a form of nurture. If an idea lacks in usefulness based on current moment and events, environmental pressures, we are going to have to imagine a better way then, because zero harvest are unacceptable. Like reply 8 mints. Andrew Alexander Douglas. It's considered you as much as you, but anyways, what is it? 80% of communication is nonverbal. Like reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Dealing with the environment, having to do with automatic intrinsic functions like breathing, sleeping, heart beating and blinking, movement. Provided there is peace, one can achieve a great deal number of things previously thought impossible. Altruism being the basis of prevalent technology not yet ascertained. Perhaps due to evolutionary measures. Just because the airplane wasn't invented doesn't mean that planes are not able to fly. Previously to that, discovering the very essence of nature and the way we use our inventive tools for human purpose, preferably a humanitarian purpose, doesn't mean there isn't a better way to use the materials, which takes billions if not trillions of Earth years to form. Instead of yachts we can make mass transit or cities on the water. It's the difference between a discovery and invention. Either way, anything you wish to lean on is not in your comfort zone, it's found outside the box. Because something doesn't exist doesn't mean it won't or didn't or isn't happening elsewhere that very same way. The answers are there, we just not using them. If a caveman had an iPhone, couldn't he just order Domino's? Well, no, because they didn't invent delivery back then. https://www.youtube.com/watch v=ZI8. The documentary Beings of Frequency. We must take protection personally. Responsible to dismantle and ascertain behaviors healthy sick all of energy vampires victimhood figures cover and respond covered means preemptively harnessing the entity of the physical body in white light emotional centers take differences in light outwardly expressed by fashions. Technology is getting closer to measuring aura fields. Keshi tech coming from Iran could stabilize the region in a night. Instead of speculating energy blockages we could see them definitively, even though procuring cultivation brightness of akahahiric quantum crone piranha chi gong energy reiki healing. This practice emanating from all of us and our takes hours to readjust spectrums color wheel in ladder form swinging on the moon using the sun as a surfboard and earth the balloon is ours we all. Avia hand string 7 number 14 billion hands long trauma excess uses neurotic narcissistic paradigms into paradise 1-3. The documentary Beings of Frequency. We must take protection personally. Responsible to dismantle and ascertain behaviors healthy sick all of energy vampires victimhood figures cover and respond covered means preemptively harnessing the entity of the physical body in white light emotional centers take differences in light outwardly expressed by fashions. Technology is getting closer to measuring aura fields. Keshi tech coming from Iran could stabilize the region in a night. Instead of speculating energy blockages we could see them definitively, even though procuring cultivation brightness of akahahiric quantum crone piranha chi gong energy reiki healing. This practice emanating from all of us and our takes hours to readjust spectrums color wheel in ladder form swinging on the moon using the sun as a surfboard and earth the balloon is ours we all. Avia hand string 7 number 14 billion hands long trauma excess uses neurotic narcissistic paradigms into paradise. Oh so cold melt in your nose and ears for sure, not just the skin. Feel like quitting? Challenged manhood. 8 Mile for the love of the greater good as a whole universe. Think about it, become believing. Don't set yourself aside. Decide boy, decide girl, are you the one you've been waiting for? Depleted uranium switch the tense, collaborate a new hand. Fuck what you said, take it back. Daredevil dialectal diligent dilated culmination is eradicating falsehood storing up the pantry kitchissipy willing to the devotion of others truth the only spoof we've ever told ourselves. Come back to the illusion that you felt expected quantum to be difficult holding onto these weights sharing up the antidepressants anti-speculated anti-veins anti-space anti-virus anti-pollution anti-ignorance learning brilliance belligerent. This a stack of nothing, cut it up, destroyed the track cover up, leave nothing into place indignantly coherent quarantine the opposite side of you king or queen dirty mics or clean stressless discovery. This mess gangsta don't know I need none in everything. I'll block you out, cut you off when questioned, said nothing, never snitch. I know what you want to know but I ain't talkin'. I'll take these secrets to the grave instead of giving up my time. Useless and worthless and rotten, delude your circumstances, blow your mind, not picking up a piece of the brains patterned on the walls. Thoughts collide, coalesce on the time of a rhyme. It's the greatest desire and dream to splatter thoughts. What's a discovery without a peep? You all gonna shell sell a crossing roads of the realization. This is metaphysics, metaphorical speech depleted, repeated sideways and blind by the light, corrected, disrespected. Reject this. I know what you want and I'll take it to the grave if I must. Back to my secrets, mean dirt. Everything is found in nothing, so what's it worth to you to unplug me only? Afraid of the struggling devastation evaporation. The puddle responds to a parking lot, dry pavement there, the place of paradise. Split up the earthen codes outside of the genetic code, soluble, unwind, rip apart the knot. If that's what y'all want, I would never take that from you. Stillness becoming the only glue, worth guile, worth covering up, the seen and unseen, out of your comfort zones, out of control. The block crush rocks in the penitentiary left your throat unprotected. I'd rather just hawk a loogie into thus the mirror of another ever caught up a rocket from the sky spit straight up without catching up back at with ya. I'll be sure we get repaid by the laws of nature. I don't need to watch you bleed, so quit asking. Get thrown out of your temple sanctuary, a penitentiary chair, incarcerated for your affairs against the human being self. I hope you'll get this chair, the one sitting in your cell, news tied to the walls, spilling thought until corrections prolonged. These are the same universal potential we all have to transcend our sleep medications, lucid resignations. Something conscious thought could provoke, encourage something different for when we return. Resurrections, ingredients, purity of freedom. When upon your return maybe you'll make it encore. Systems tied at the throat, forced to break addictions and live your convictions. Spit it but walk straight. This is not wishful thinking. Your purpose is to give it excellence, breaking your chains and now set free. On that watch there is no World War III is a special recognition toward discovering the world changes as we know it. Even you can't hear the beat, you get the vibe in the spit. Walk forward, let time travel, return yet fall back behind. The opportunity lies in this, the moment, listening silently between reading. These only true line are found in a circle. Motions give it away, inspire moral overall, starring the summertime high. Deja vu. Straight up is a stepping stone toward the future until you sage up and escape the space which lets you out off the seesaw. Back and forth, reverse it again. It's a scooter with hang gliders again. Float on Imma, close the door. The stone belongs beyond targets. Freedom there between slumbering wake and dream states. Realizations speak, think about it. Do I look like a man who likes to repeat myself? Well, why you try to fuck me too? I don't want your kisses, and here's a surprise, I just can't read your mind, only midpoints. Suggestions. Death be your ego self, declares the one. Travels on hidden jets, Air Force Number 1, and about the right to jet streams. That's covered in freedom of speed speech, I suppose. Caffeine not the only way to get rapid rhyme done. Does that tell you how much time is left? Rabbit run like Mozart. I too do what I do. Tie for the drum. I got this shit. Just because I choose truth doesn't mean you need to. By J. Syed. Sources. The saying is scripted but the idea stands firm. This was his terminology at the time. In other words, quote, investigator, Albert Einstein died in 1955. The earliest evidence known to Chi linking Einstein to this expression appeared in the 1976 book The Metaphoric Mind, A Celebration of Creative Consciousness by Bob Samples. The author did not claim he was quoting Einstein. Instead, Samples was presenting his personal interpretation of Einstein's perspective. Boldface has been added to the following excerpts. 1. German physicist Ernst Ruska and the electrical engineer Max Knoll constructed the prototype electron microscope in 1931, capable of 400 power magnification. The apparatus was the first demonstration of the principles of electron microscopy. 2 years later, in 1933, Ruska built an electron microscope that exceeded the resolution attainable with an optical, light, microscope. Moreover, Reinhold Rutenberg, the scientific director of Siemens Schuckertwerke, obtained the patent for the electron microscope in May 1931. https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki/electron_microscope annus mirabilis papers. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Einstein in 1904 or 1905, about the time he wrote the Annus Mirabilis papers. The Annus Mirabilis papers, from Latin annus mirabilis, extraordinary year, are the papers of Albert Einstein published in the Annalender Physics Scientific Journal in 1905. These 4 articles contributed substantially to the foundation of modern physics and changed views on space, time, mass, and energy. The Annus Mirabilis is often called the Miracle Year in English or Wunderjahr in German. Contents. 1. Background. 2. Papers. 2.1 Photoelectric effect. 2.2 Brownian motion. 2.3 Special relativity. 2.4 Mass energy equivalence. 3. Commemoration. 4. Notes. 5. Works by Einstein. 6. Bibliography. 7. External links. Background. The Einstein house on the Kramgasse in Bern, Einstein's residence at the time. Most of the papers were written in his apartment on the first floor. At the time the papers were written, Einstein did not have easy access to a complete set of scientific reference materials, although he did regularly read and contribute reviews to Annalender Physik. Additionally, scientific colleagues available to discuss his theories were few. He worked as an examiner at the patent office in Bern, Switzerland, and he later said of a co-worker there, Michel Bessot, that he could not have found a better sounding board for his ideas in all of Europe. In addition, co-workers and the other members of the self-styled Olympian Academy, Maurice Solovine and Paul Habicht, and his wife, Mileva Maric had some influence on Einstein's work, but how much is unclear. 1, 2, 3, 4. Through these papers, Einstein tackles some of the era's most important physics questions and problems. In 1900, a lecture titled 19th Century Clouds over the Dynamical Theory of Heat and Light, 5 by Lord Kelvin, suggested that physics had no satisfactory explanations for the results of the Michelson-Morley experiment and for black body radiation. As introduced, special relativity provided an account for the results of the Michelson-Morley experiments. Einstein's theories for the photoelectric effect extended the quantum theory which Max Planck had developed in his successful explanation of black body radiation. Despite the greater fame achieved by his other works, such as that on special relativity, it was his work on the photoelectric effect that won him his Nobel Prize in 1921, for services to theoretical physics and especially for the discovery of the law of the photoelectric effect. The Nobel Committee had waited patiently for experimental confirmation of special relativity, however none was forthcoming until the time dilation experiments of Ives and Stilwell, 1938, 6, 1941, 7 and Rossi and Hall, 1941. 8 Dubious discuss https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki/annus_mirabilis_papers. Electron microscope, Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. en.wikipedia.org. Like reply remove preview 3 mints. The metaphoric mind is a maverick. It is as wild and unruly as a child. It follows us doggedly and plagues us with its presence as we wander the contrived corridors of rationality. It is a metaphoric link with the unknown called religion that causes us to build cathedrals, and the very cathedrals are built with rational, logical plans. When some personal crisis or the bewildering chaos of everyday life closes in on us, we often rush to worship the rationally planned cathedral and ignore the religion. Albert Einstein called the intuitive or metaphoric mind a sacred gift. He added that the rational mind was a faithful servant. It is paradoxical that in the context of modern life we have begun to worship the servant and defile the divine. http://quoteinvestigator.com/2013/09/18/intuitive-mind/. Own note. Andrew Alexander Douglas, Tuesday, July 5, 2016. I look forward to exploring the majesty of abundance, the beauty found in redundancy, but to apply these concepts today. The earth, she needs our help, since our relationship is symbiotic, sustainability becomes the topic. A ship to sail leaving prosperity in its wake. One day perhaps to journey into space and take our place as the human race exploring the heavens. Metamorphical. Andrew Alexander Douglas, Wednesday, July 6, 2016. Earth is halo of the sun. You cannot eat money. Metamorphical. Many so-called prophets/priestesses were female. It's no secret. Look at the text. This overlooked aspect of our emotional evolution, revolutions of the self-transforming DNA, genetic composition upgrades and stabilize in real time, no death required. Peace only necessary for provided reclamation. Transcending matter unconditionally, put her first march forth in all you do. 13 Phi FZ. As above so below, as within so without, and so it is. Ever behold the promise of the rainbow, we fly infinitely upon our Merkaba magic carpet light body vessel, a real metamorphical XD combination of all things into a singularity, fundamental universal understanding. Sea turtle and sea snake both lay eggs. 12x12 Think outside the box. If you love, you allow them the space to be free. Sometimes that space is infinity. Fuck. Ing. Sofa Kingdom. Mind blown. Yeah. Chat conversation end. Mannerism. First and foremost, learn to be polite, then we talk, but I don't assist under 18, especially without guardian participation. Youth protection. Or not till you're 13, son. I can easily get Bigoron's sword before the forest Tamil no hacks. Anyways, after that side note. Where was I? Sorry, wanted to post that thought. Thanks for being blank page, female, for my pen, male. As one, in brain. FML, so there I was, solving Rubik's Cubes. 4096. Q's. 512/528. Can't tells. In effect, it's the only way there ever was. Knowledge is power. But use of that power through humility veil is wise. That's bold statement. But I like Doritos, what can I say? They give you cancer, don't eat them nowadays, OMG. If you can't pronounce the ingredients, don't eat it, boycott shackles. They only pull underground. Specifically other than toes. Dementing our sacred temples. The body. The mind. The astral, moral self. Serving that greater good. Patty, you're the mayonnaise for me. When I die, bury me in smoke. Native American Indian meditation music, shamanic flute music, healing music, calming music. Native American Indian meditation music, shamanic flute music, healing music, calming music. YouTube.com. Like, show more reactions. Comment, share. Comments. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas cremation. Funeral at sea. Burn me apart while I feed the fish against the purple and red sunset. Drifting onto the turquoise horizon. Like reply. Smiley face, that would please me in so doing as well. Consider this my final wish just for laughs. Winky face, I love life. I love you. I believe in us in all of our yous and yous. Animal and celestial alike, each and every life is deserving of equal rights, being consistently even at all time. There is but one moment, the now, that is creator and guide to our existence. All we have to do is write the legislation to give Earth her inevitable freedom too. There isn't a choice in the matter. We don't get a plan B. We will be eradicated by the forces of Earth well before we destroy its place in the cosmos, which would, could, should, and will be disastrous for not only the Milky Way but the universe as a whole. Anyways, I'm no politician or lawyer. Shaman, music man, lyricist / as myself and others deem worthy. Hills have eyes, so pro those nouns. A few of my favorite things to do as well, being meditative mediums all the same. Winky face, run to them. You know what's happening now? https://www.youtube.com/watch v = 3qv. The cries of the melons. Thank you, computer, for asking what's on my mind. To know where I'd be without ya. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. If all the world's a stage, then that stage is a woman, not just the mic stand. The whole. Blessed he forgive, and then food and water are drugs because you put them in your mouth. Which become one's vibrational withholdings. Understandings. Astral ascension to 5D consciousness. Today at historic Ironwood Theater. Adam and Eve were the first Homo sapiens suffering from homophobia XD, humans assisted. They were allowed to keep the ability endowed by the universe of reproduction but couldn't grasp immortal life, at that time. If Hercules comes back, he'll smite him again, but no weapons, hand-to-hand combat only. Book of Enoch omitted. Here is the reason men don't feel masculine. We, men, don't feel like it's our species. Be nice, be love, be respect. One hand washes the other. We need each other, men and women, more than ever. I have a male physiology. The book on female is ever increasing in volume. We need each other, not paper or superhuman sperm, genetically modified organisms. Yeah, I said it. Money is not a proper mate either. That's the same problem. Something from nothing. From thin air. Earth equals heart, heart equals earth. After Assyrian clones who were bound at the mouth, eyes and ears, a grunt, no doubt perfect replicated worker drone clone worshipping Babel on, just as the brook does lead to the oceans. Like, show more reactions. Comment, share. Spider webs of cataclysm bind us to our heathen prisons. 4 HRS Ironwood, MI. https://www.youtube.com/watch, v = 1 HK. REM. Man on the Moon. Ripped from the In View DVD. Much more to come. Comment and subscribe. Check my other videos. Also request a song. I'll probably have the video. I am in no way s. youtube.com. Like, show more reactions. Comment, share. Comments. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Andrew Alexander Douglas. They put a man on the earth, yeah. Like, reply 1 HR. Book of Enoch omitted. Here is the reason men don't feel masculine. We, men, don't feel like it's our species. Be nice, be love, be respect. One hand washes the other. We need each other, men and women, more than ever. I have a male physiology. The book on female is ever increasing in volume. We need each other, not paper or superhuman sperm, genetically modified organisms. Yeah, I said it. Money is not a proper mate either. That's the same problem. Something from nothing. From thin air. I was wrong. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Obey your thirst. Be a bro or sis. Today I am below the ant. We die as one. Attention spans today can be measured in nanoseconds. Blessings, sending energy of peace to you now. You think when ET landed the next time, episode, Epoch Age, what have you, there weren't tons of Neanderthals. I mean, look at today. I'm still one of them, part of that bush caught in the reflection of light beam. Down Scotty, no couch today. XSD, solar deciduous system, raining barrels full of apples at the galactic pines. I don't like apple pie enough, I guess, but that pine scent. Taxi cab confessions is hard. Get off the fact. Zelensky soon broke his own automotive parts. Never know. Chicken bones. Maybe Chris will come. Black Farley soon. Rip one day. Tree mirror image holographic projections. Hail Mary 3 Gmgpa Black Heart OJDEL1. So much for distinguished astral projectors unions. This shit is too ahead of our times. I guess we as humanity are the schizophrenic mess. Disconnected from environments, ahead of its time is the problem. There is only one time, and with that time we can either choose to infuse our lessons or ignore them. It's all a matter of free will and choice moment to moment. How can we circumvent our dependence on fossil fuels, of which is in fact ahead of its time? Terminologies need redefined. Takes X number of years to create Y material. We use Y at an extreme rate, creating imbalances. In relation to the universe, the galaxy is falling in time. That idea you had yesterday was actually in the future. Or ahead of its time, meaning we think things then manifest their thoughts, accordances through our accusations of wanted effects, desires determined by will through space. All of it, even time itself, lends a hand to conquering the moment. Declining egotistical possession, bowing this faithful servant to the omniscient observer. Higher mind combined with the sacred heart, accepting servitude of a greater being. There is only one time, the moment of now. Anonymity. Transparently wounded healers transcend the very fabric of the status quo, making communication seemingly impossible. A new take is required in stillness and in heath. If peace is hell, then heaven is happiness. Peace not requiring balance, as does happiness, as above so below. All happiness is peaceful, but all peace is not happy. The dragon eats its tail. FTW. Balance of the threefold principle, mother, brother, Trinity. The combination of a life's work around be just for laughs, from 2D to 5D and even mono dimensions. Audacious diseases try to keep us all ignorant, permanently severing universal connections for a happy meal. Like, comment, share. If we lied our way into this mess, we can lie our way out. Being honest and open about astral ascension, speak about it on the TV, then I might feel better about establishing a business of which one will accept without extremist radical religious folk. It's Positive Energy and Energy Therapy U.S. Department of Energy. Nikola Tesla. Free energy, quantum fractal energy mandala. I'm sure there is another way, but I like my life. Foot Clan. Note undertow. No peak, I swear, ho 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 ho. Like, reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas. Arc to my OMG. Like reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas, I don't have a tummy arc. Like reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas and veggie seed on the inside. Like reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas learned that from my 10y/o cuz sheesh. Like reply just now. K Ernestine Scarptida, I'm cereal. Like reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas, so smarty, smiley face. Like reply just now. Andrew Alexander Douglas, so super cereal, I might be man bear pig soon. Like reply just now. https://www.youtube.com/watch v=ytshnhdm7jc. Andrew Alexander Douglas, next moon we shall see, happy face, big for life. Andrew Alexander Douglas, Friday, July 8, 2016. G-Jam 24/7 Save the world. I can't imagine any other way than to take responsibility for the swollen world, only difference is us. The game's the same, but the rules have changed. Creating yourself is the name given. A big undertaking, accepting your shadow ancient and deep belongs to the words we speak. Become a master of destiny, truth becomes actualization. Call up the judge, he'll only be convicted of pursuing the love. Passion hooked me young, passion hooked me young, brought me, keep me afloat. Darkest times alone, rain on the pavement, walking through forests at midnight. These are the lessons from which I salute victory, for two that's the price we pay. I ain't got no cost, so I can't be bought. Majoring in Matrix Ascension. Last time I took a red sense, boiled apart, all majesty torn up, scattered contortions, grasping spirit together, hardened, slipped right up into static, dissipating laughter, flagrant outreach, forensic pressures continually renewed, infused, burning apart the resting, unpure, alleviate concept, regression, naturally coalesces, unnatural restriction. For you see whether I've writ frantic philosophies, discarding all that reaction, qualitative progression, attract capacity. Disperse this contradiction, specifically redundant, insightful, plug up controversy, once taking contribution, putting up my best house, that service to others for real, fuck myself, how many time I gotta say it, I am nothing before we believe I create my reality, really gonna tell me what to do, expecting something might change, some better dialect, positioning, retrospection, if for once I ever spoke, personal trial, pain for miles, crushed under the weight of the sun, is my average home somewhere on the thumb, bifocals, magnifying details, keeping all our eyes focused, source of all beauty, too much brilliance for the average soul capable of understandings. Moon satellites spin this rhyme, uncorruptibly balanced, taken off track by virtue of thought, mind creates parameter for a fact. I may have crossed some lines, mostly finish ones, breaking ribbons, hit the corner of the goal, upper right corner, screw it, be compounded interest, decline interest in metaphysics, only hail illicit behaviors, watch my filters fall just once, it can't happen, been lied to all my life. What do you think I learned from? Cover my track, leave no trace, survivalist, rabbit pole with the eyes stuck red instead of bending trees, grab a spring, it's rabbit, duck or goose season, ring them necks, kid, quick death, unlike slaughterhouse, freezer meat, decapitated, raiders of the lost ark, back the future, half-baked, fear and loathing in Las Vegas, requiem for a dream, snatch, blow, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Independence Day, I love you man, Superbad, Super Troopers, that comedy movie, Tommy Boy, Forrest Gump, Zoolander, Fievel Goes West, Rescuers Down Under, Akira the One, Kill Bill, Butterfly Effect, Donnie Darko, Elegant Universe, I failed, said a TV station, mental programming, wait, when did tuning happen? Naturally my brain is only the receiver, I've been everywhere man, don't get me started on the Cash to Ash program, rest in peace, and I'm sorry to all the greats taken before their time took place here in the streets. In the aftermath, the ultimate price paid for a deal with the devil, if they don't like you, keep it uncensored, ripping us off. Control media perspective, the most popular idea doesn't make it on aft, that voice takes over, you're tapped in but not turned on, some kinda reaction makes everything seem different, wake up, my best writing is done with eyes closed, away from the external remarks outside of everything chokes you up, I ain't playin', been there homie, G-Funk, he'll tell you what I know, I'm talkin' to myself, that's the point, it a solely lock, always needed to explain self in any key, putting a damper on established TV perspectives. Mostly be your own guide at some point. This becomes inevitable. By swaying popular opinion they can drive profits in the unnatural direction, spin the story for the glory of hypnotic captivation, forms of the subtle and symbolic conversions, paying the price forced against the very public of which it serves, captivations, regulations concerning captivity, awkwardly known as enslavement, fancy that only should be allowable through consent, acceptance of a transparent itinerary. No, I never fear, only because my topic is so far above Most people's heads keepin' it grim, leaving all that I've said short-handed codes understandable to some, gibberish to most. As I said in the beginning, I've only followed the crumbs, picking up each piece. This is where it lead. Controversy extends, claims riches of fast intermittent potential. Fact is lower vibrations have no scope of the dimension above itself, no way to know, cannot comprehend vast dimensions, when in fact this is no fantastical remark. Just because some drugs change your head for a time is still just a response. Rather an open all at once, more an exam for adulthood once, if at all, because this reality doesn't close after a high wears off, craving the urge. Life is not different despite the perspective, alternate expressions, altered consciousness, not a high out there that can nor could replace education mixed with passion, irrefutably invents his own dimensional kindi science, one love only.